to tell how much they understand.
Right.
It's like almost like
Yes.
It is tough to judge where people are.
Right. Right.
And I'm going to record like some of the session.
Sure.
So you want to be on camera?
I don't care.
Come closer so we can see you.
Okay.
Because one of the things this year I'm going to focus on is limbic system therapy.
Okay.
Right. So both of us can be on. I want to see your pretty face.
Thank you. I don't look great right now.
Hey,
okay.
You're pretty good.
Thank you.
Anyway, so what I wanted, maybe I should push it a little further so we can both be together, right?
Yes.
You have like sunlight on your face.
Yeah. Thank God.
So one of the things I'm focusing on this year is doing podcasts, like I told you.
Okay.
On my Friday would be my podcast day. Okay. I won national #1 integrated top integrated medicine specialist award.
No way.
National.
No way. That's awesome.
I think 50,000 doctors participated.
Wow. Good for you. That's awesome.
But I have no idea what it means. Like, you don't really get, like, I'm like the doctor. Is it Wizard of Oz?
Okay.
The brain.
Yeah.
This the only thing you need is a certificate. Right?
Yeah. Exactly. There you go.
So that's all I'm looking for. Because they don't really give you a like a prize or anything. But the more paperwork I collect, I get so stoked,
Yeah, that's awesome.
So this is what they sent. So everything is online now.
Oh, okay.
See, I have won awards in the past too.
Okay, yes, I see. That's awesome.
All like paper.
Yeah.
So I did it again. It's odds. Wizard of Oz. Hey, you just need to have a certificate.
Yep, there you go. That's awesome. That's awesome.
So they said by doing this, they'll allow me to be on a medical panel nationally. Okay. So we would be able to moderate forums and stuff because people do Google search. They're looking for answers, right?
Okay.
So we are coming together as a group. Yep. So we will kind of post information that's going to be good for people instead of randomly So they invite on the top first 7. That's I made it to the top 7th one as I invite. They said, "What do you want to moderate?" And I said, "Hey, I want to do medical cannabis."
Good for you.
Cannabinoid medicine.
That's awesome.
But what I am focusing on, because this year, one of my goals is to do podcasts. And my teacher, I speak to you guys all the time about him.
Right.
I think he's my higher power. Okay. I'm doing him as my trainer for 12-step program because I personally feel American religion is 12-step. We tried all sorts of religion. Right. That's the only thing that works for us.
Yeah.
And I feel I would rather cater to people that would be functional. Okay. And so he was prosecuted in India. Okay. And they tried to kill him almost 100 times because I think there is a pervasive terrorism everywhere. People want to sabotage each other, hurt each other. Right. People who want to do the right thing are targeted first. Right. Here, even in America, remember so many doctors were killed when they did integrative medicine. Wow. So people always write to me, they say, "I hope you're safe."
Oh my goodness, that's funny. Yeah.
So 80 doctors died, anonymously.
Wow.
But, I'm not creating fear, but I feel really we need to be careful how we come across, so I'm not threatening. So being out in the open, being on a medical side, being prudent, kind of serves me too. Okay. So I wrote to my teacher. He said he'll grant me all my wishes.
Nice.
Tell me, and that's it. It's done. He actually literally snapped his fingers.
That's awesome.
So I told him I want to materialize everything my family wants, right? I want to make their wish come true. Right. And my family include you guys, right? You are part of my family.
Yes.
So my family is extended family.
Right.
I don't want to,
Right.
because in my 12th book, I wrote it like, stabilizing family is one of my goals.
Yes.
And I feel like,
Well, I feel like we all came from one.
yes.
So no matter whatever you call your God, God is Buddha, God is this, we're all come from one. So I think if you, no matter
No,
what.
actually, our belief system is based on going back to the source we came from. Okay, see, all of us started from the same umbilical cord and we spread.
Right.
So we are considered the vision or visionaries of the source.
Okay.
And the source is called cosmic consciousness, and it's not vertical, it's pervasive.
Okay.
Whereas in other religion, it's vertical. One God religion has vertical, which doesn't serve many people. That it ends up being non-serving. Whereas, when you do this cosmic consciousness, it makes sense because you need a specific answer.
Yes.
I need a specific answer. So, pervasive consciousness works better. So that's how they say it. They say physical entirety and healing happens physically.
Yes.
For that you need nutrition. So the God of physical world is food.
Right.
Mahatma Gandhi says God comes in the form of a bread.
Right.
Wherever they serve food, I go.
Yeah.
In church, they call it adoration chapel. They will have like this big bread in there.
Right.
So I'll babysit Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And in our temples, they call it Annapurni, so goddess of nutrition.
Okay.
So wherever they have food, I'm always following that. I'm very
food to survive, right? That's right.
You are today my goddess of nutrition.
Yeah.
You better got me coffee, right?
Yes.
So
yeah.
And my teacher is so funny. He says, when you go to heaven and you say, I donate a lot of money, God says he's never reached me because God doesn't know currency.
Right.
And the weird part is, I'm going to show you this. You might have observed.
Yeah.
The currency, the way it says is, when you open like a coin, like a currency note, right?
Yes.
What it says, I want you to read. Okay. I want you to read. Because what we are asking for is money, right?
Okay.
But read this. This one, the little note, what does it say?
This note is legal tender for all debts, public and private.
So what you are getting is a little bit of public debt.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. Right.
$1 worth of public debt, and you're passing it on, right?
Yeah.
So we are having fake currency, assuming us giving us wealth. But imagine if in case we can be out on wealth, you give me labor, I give you labor. Labor for labor is much richer than currency. That's why I'm saying don't ever think about money. Money is not richness. It's flow of life. Like for me today, hey Justin, you want some coffee?
No, Dr. Brown, I'm good.
So I decided to do podcast this year. The reason is there is a new term they are using called social media influencers. Go look it up.
Okay.
They did a fake, this guy is a big scam artist.
Okay.
And it's called Fire Festival. Have you heard about it? FYRE.
No.
Fire Festival. People invested for 2-week vacation in Bahamas. It's like a specific island called Fire Island.
Okay.
FYRE.
Okay.
It was owned by a cocaine cartel, Pablo Escobar.
Oh, wonderful.
And so they collected money from all these big investors saying they will get a chunk of that property.
Okay.
And they lost lots of money. And all these rich people just wanted to go have a party for 2 weeks. They spent like tons of money to go there. And then when they went there, it ended up being, whole thing was a scam. This guy scammed $35 million.
Oh my
All
God.
for like just like how South Miami they have like this summer break.
Right.
They're
Yes.
kind of recreating it in Caribbean.
Okay.
People have money to blow.
Yeah. Like,
And
throw
I'm like
away.
saying, I know. I'm like saying,
I don't
so,
get it.
so the way that was driven is by a concept called social media influencers. They had very, very rich models and stuff. They hired to do the commercial, that's all. And that's what took off because they tweeted and they promoted it. So it was marketing from heaven, delivery from hell. Okay?
Okay.
So the people who got cheated were the Bahamas workers who were paying nothing and they were made to believe they'll have 5-year job.
Wow.
And they ended up losing money, their savings and stuff.
Oh my Lord.
And so she was crying, that girl in Bahamas, like $50,000. She spent to feed these people. Nobody took accountability. You should watch it. I mean, like, would you watch it? Because as my husband says, I should never say you should. That's it. It's a command word.
Okay, yeah.
So instead he said, would you watch? If you want, you can watch. It's called Fire Festival, the party that never happened.
Okay.
Okay, that's on Netflix.
Okay.
And it's amazing. If you, I mean, you can watch it on YouTube too. There is like, but if you can
I have to put
imagine,
it in
you know, what I'm saying is, can you imagine how it would be? That's what I want to teach you guys, how to become a social media influencer. Okay? If they can create a party that's worth millions of dollars, why cannot we create a group?
Right.
Becoming a social media influencer. So my goal is to create a podcast.
Yeah.
And you create a podcast saying how difficult it is to have home.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
So we are going to come together as a team. And this is my goal. I always work as a spirit mother with you guys.
Okay.
You know, like I feel we watch out for each other. I got your back, you got my back. Okay. Right. So I will teach you how much it's going to. So that's why I put it right in front of you guys. Like, you know, that one is a podcast station. Okay. You can put iPad there. Okay. Right? Yep. And then you can plug in lights and stuff. And this is a guitar stand. Okay. It's all very cheap. Like I got it like for $40. Right. And you know, you can put in like, you know, your stuff. And, right. And so you need a computer. Yeah. So we can create an easy podcast station. Okay. And what my goal is to teach you guys how to become a social media influencer. Okay. Would it make sense to you guys? Yeah. Because once you understand how to create your YouTube video, you'll go to the next level. Okay. The next level is the way they found this guy who's a scam artist. He first started a credit card. Okay. He says to people, give me all your money. They almost give him $250,000. And he loads it up in a credit card and they can like use it. It's like a very fancy metallic card. And he swindled that money. He didn't go to jail. What? No. And then now, $35 million, he went to jail only for 6 years. And he hasn't paid back. So $35 million he has. And guess what he's done? Million? And do you know what he would have done now? What? Can you guess? No. He started a third company. It's called New York VIP Access, and he's selling it's called gala tickets for Hollywood red carpet tickets. And people are paying already him millions of dollars. And so he's saying, I will give you backstage pass to Taylor Swift contest and like all the other big artist contests. And the NFL players and all are involved. So what he did, which he failed, is the marketing company is now taken over. Now they are using the concept called social media influencers. Okay. And they're going another step. And they're very efficient in marketing to the right people. Okay. And now they're going to be able to win it. So we need to use the same thing to make our product. Yeah, right. No, I'm like saying, you deserve. But who people will watch is people who are credible in that field, right? So I'm going to take credibility for you, how to find housing, right? Okay. Like, so let's create team approach. Okay. And then I'll work with you for 52 weeks, okay? So I'll make a commitment. You guys make a commitment and we'll come together. And I'm going to do Zoom meetings with you guys. We will do Thursday, like a small group, and build on it on Friday. And I'll create a group with you guys.
Okay.
But the reason I am bringing this all in this area, like limbic system therapy, is I was reading about him, and they called them operational sociopath.
Okay.
So the operational sociopathic style in a relationship is, this is exactly what I felt happened with Dr. Doe. I gave him 3 years of my life without pay.
Okay.
And he went bankrupt, and he still hasn't paid me back.
What?
Because when they go bankrupt, they don't have any liability.
Right.
Because, see, the thing is they walk away, right?
Right.
But 3 years I trusted him, and what to show for the trust, you know? So like, and I actually asked him, Dr. Doe, as a parting present, would you say something from your heart, telling me what my life meant to you for the 3 years I worked without pay? Guess what he would have written? You read it.
That's it.
Can you believe it? This is what Operation Society. So tell me what you read.
My first gift to you.
3 years.
Oh my God. What do you mean? First gift to you? Like what? Oh
Hey, Jenny.
That's it?
Do you want to come in? We are like just chatting. I'm going to finish it up. I mean, unless like you want privacy. No. Does she?
No, I don't.
No. We were just, she went and got me coffee. So I was telling her a story. Oh my God! Did you watch that thing called Fire Festival? FYRE.
No.
So Fire Festival, all these millionaires got together.
Yeah.
And they like how they have summer.
Yeah.
No, but like how they have summer break in Miami, right?
Yeah.
So they invited a lot of top models. Fire is an island, Fire Island, FYRE, run by a drug cartel.
Oh,
okay? Until he decided to sell his property. Until this kid from, I forgot, like somewhere in California, he bought this concept. So they were doing 2-week summer break type of thing for celebrity. And they said they will have a specific bracelet. It will be loaded with money, so they never need to use cash anywhere. And everything is going to be paid for. And in case you participate, you can own chunk of the island. And so they sold a concept, and he collected $35 million. Did not deliver. The first day they go, right? They were picked up. Yeah. We should watch that.
The greatest party that
never happened. They go the first day. When they went there, they were picked up by a school bus. He promises like private jet and all that stuff. So they get picked up by a school bus. Oh, by the way, the plane was worse than economy class. Like a boy. So he flies them there. And then they go there. They give them emergency, what is it called, hurricane tent. and then it rained. Everything got rained over the mattress and stuff.
Oh, no.
And they had a porta potty.
No way.
Luxury. And then,
36 million.
They didn't have food or water. So the local people who did the building and stuff, who were supposed to work non-stop, they were promised 5 years job. They put their labor, which was free, and the girl who served the food used her savings, $50,000, to pay for what was it? Cheese sandwich with lettuce.
No. Ew! Cheese sandwich with lettuce. Yeah, seriously.
They're millionaires. And he swindled $35 million, and he only went to jail for 6 years.
A pretzel
they just no, but the thing is, when they went to the airport, they locked them in. And the guests, all the celebrities didn't have food or water for one day before they let them out. You know, like the thing is, like, you know, these money, they just wanted it for party, right?
Wow.
$800,000. Would you pay for 2 weeks of party?
No.
These people are that much money.
I don't think I'd even pay $80.
Right.
So the whole
I want to know where my
concept was,
money's going first before I.
why
put my
I'm
money
bringing it
anywhere.
up is I want to create a podcast group. So you guys can be part of the podcast. Because what evolved out of that was they called this operation, the guy who ran it, that he has operational sociopath. Operational sociopath use a power-filled relationship position. That is, they are an authority that they would never accept accountability. That's exactly what happened with Dr. Doe. 3 years he made me work without pay.
That's crazy.
And then now he's bankrupt.
Right.
There's no accountability, right? Like he didn't have to take any.
Like, sorry.
Now that the door is shut,
Right.
that's it. He says he's not liable. And he already started another company. And this guy already started another company. He's now selling the Hollywood red carpet event. It's called Gala tickets. And they pay,
People buy it.
and they're paying $250 million.
Wow.
So see what it is. The concept evolved out of it is you need to create an app. He created a fire app, and he created the bank concept. And now they got it. The marketing department is like now understands how to market to specifically the millionaires. So these events are run by social media influencers. So they hire very, very cute models, just like Dr. Doe. He had a physician assistant, very, very cute. Remember, like always he'll be like surrounded by very pretty girls and stuff.
Right.
So I am going to make you guys all a social media influencer.
Okay.
Seriously, I'm not saying, why not? But cutie pie.
I want to learn. Yeah.
You look exactly like the girl I did. Yeah. So you can pull it off.
All right, if you want me to do it for you, I will.
I'll do it too.
Hey, you guys are all my team. You're going to be my social media influencer, right? Put your best dress on and perform.
No problem. I got idea.
Yeah. I gotta find my glass slippers.
That's around the pole. Pole there.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe it. He didn't get caught.
Huh?
Obviously,
So he
did.
got caught,
I
but
went to jail for 6 years.
Yeah.
He's still doing it.
But
They came out with
he has not given back the money.
Wow.
See, the thing is, he
He did the
swindled
time, that's
$35
why.
million, and he is walking scot-free.
$35
See, once you go to jail, you have no owe money.
Right.
And the government gives you money. They actually moved
They
it.
actually paid him. Yeah.
They moved it in the clearance.
Oh my goodness.
And so when he comes out, it's like Martha Stewart, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And she now has the biggest show on earth.
Yeah, seriously. Seriously.
I'm going to give you guys, you need to speak a language called language of integrity.
Okay.
So to deal with them, the first thing you need to say is, it is inside a relationship too. Because what they want to do is make you look stupid, them to be smart.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And whether it's the internet or it doesn't matter.
Right.
So the only way to stop that behavior, and I'm going to teach you guys, each one is going to be expert in your own field. You pick like, which people you want to work with. But seriously, if we understand this as a game,
Yeah.
we are going to play it better than the millionaires.
Right.
And we're gonna, like, I saw that 6 girls
Sounds
come
very
together
competitive.
Yeah.
Hey, remember that movie that came out last year? The like the biggest con, like you could see 6 girls coming together.
Was that with
I saw like the 6 girls, they become like the biggest con artists. Like they all join together. Is it like wives or I forgot what?
I don't know.
Because I wanted to watch it, they become an expert and they swindle the swindlers.
Yeah.
And I have to see it, but anyway. So I seriously want to teach you guys that. Okay?
Yeah.
And why cannot we do it the right way? They did a scam.
Yeah.
Right.
But we'll do labor to labor. So the money doesn't. The money is actually, that's what I would look at your money
Yeah, I'm looking
No,
at it.
but what I'm saying is, go on top if the $20 bill is, read out the small prints for me.
Read on the small prints for you. The one that says this note is legal tender?
Yes, so read it aloud.
This note is legal tender for all debt, public and private.
So you're giving me $20 worth of debt. Really, it's money?
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's like crazy, right?
Right.
So you're reading a paper and you're believing
I
it is
become
worth
rich off
something.
this?
Right.
I can make money off you? Off this program we're gonna learn?
See, the thing
Right.
is, money is not what we are going to make. We are going to make life. So it's labor for
Okay.
labor. So you're going to provide social media influencing labor,
Yeah.
and you're going to earn followers who will do what you need to do. Like,
Right.
maybe they'll run grocery for you. You know, so like what I'm
Yeah.
saying is, what you're using money for,
Yeah.
you will get it done. Does it make sense?
Yes, yes.
So why cannot we become a leaders in this?
Yeah, right.
I'll give you guys 1 year.
Well, if anybody can do it, you can do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe.
So, and you know what? I believe in you guys because you're an expansion of me, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So
Right.
I am working with Abundant Goddess, and they released her mantra to us yesterday to create a kingdom for that goddess. And so I really feel as an expert. So it's mother energy. So like for us, our kids want something, it's not manifested, right?
Right.
So why cannot we manifest for our life and our
I know.
extended family? You know, why are we thinking limited? Especially with the YouTube. Now anybody can say shit about anybody.
Oh, I know.
Right?
Right.
So we are going to be the best social media influencers.
Okay.
Okay? So each one is going to get an official golden title from me.
Oh,
We'll have a
good,
golden badge.
Okay.
You're going to look very, very cute.
Right.
We're going to have a style.
I'll just stop wearing makeup again.
Right.
Yes, yes. You're going to be the best self of you.
Awesome.
And you're going to be all my media, social media influencer. So like again, I come back to operational sociopath. So I will give you so it's called sociopathicstyle.com.
Okay.
And the way to reset it is called language of integrity.
Okay.
So we need to understand, because the only way abundance will build is if we impose integrity. What is integrity is initially it starts with a belief system in our thinking that we are going to believe truly in what we do. Okay. The second thing is we connect it with it emotionally, saying I'm going to succeed no matter what. And the third is our speech should reflect that. So if we are in sync with thinking, emotions, word, you believe in your system. When you believe in you, people will believe in you.
Right.
It's a very nice sales pitch. But actually, that's how the abundance works. It starts with the thinking process itself. So your thinking should match your actions. So let's say, like, I'm thinking, I am such a loser. I'm saying, I'm going to be the social media influencer. Guess what happens? Right? So you sabotage yourself. Whereas you think, no matter what, I'm going to give my life to it.
Right.
And you'll succeed.
Right. Yeah.
Okay? So I feel that's where the hidden prosperity. So we are going to create a network, and we'll have a team. Like, maybe legal will be one team.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to find solution. One guy said, I want to get on disability. What are the resources? And he tells me, you're going to laugh at this. He comes and tells me, I'm going to go to the disability office and I'm going to ask for the first time. And I was told it will fail. Go second time. It will fail. Third time, just tell them I'm going to sue you, get a lawyer, and you'll get it done. I said, that guarantees failure. Right?
Yeah,
This is
I know.
like plane or automobile.
Right.
This guy is, he goes and pisses everybody off.
Right.
But whereas the homeless guy is smarter, right?
Right.
So it's the same thing. I said, why don't you try this approach? You go in and say, hey, you know what? I really would like your help. I heard a lot about you, and you're very good at getting us help. So I really I'm wondering. He said he put in 40 years for government, and I said, when is the earliest I can collect SSI, or is there any other resources? I am raising my daughter and her child. We are all broke. We don't have a place to stay. this allows people to open their heart and listen, right? And then you can also say, is there any other resources you suggest? And if it doesn't work that way, then you can shift your thinking.
Well, he has to have a disability too.
And then I
I
said,
mean, you can't just ask for disability.
so the thing is, like, I was screwed up by a homeless guy at squatter who lived there. I shared with you.
Yes, you did. Yeah.
So one thing I learned from him
Yeah.
is how to read the law. So Massachusetts general law, you need to know what is the number for disability, read it step by step, come, we'll work together. So I told him, just find out the number for disability. That's all, and come bring it up and I'll work as your paralegal. He said, I'll give you all the information. So he comes the next week. One of the things in recovery coaching they say is, don't run ahead of your clients. So I asked him, hey, what happened? Did you find out the number? Oh, I was so busy, I couldn't look it up. So the thing is, people say what they want.
Right.
They don't give a shit.
Right.
Why are you stressing?
Right.
But
I'm
something's not even gonna
You're
work.
so broke.
So again, it comes back to language of integrity. So we are going to hold that same space. So it's only 5 things I'm going to teach you guys. We are going to rehash it again and again. The first stage is I feel stage. So you need to tell them I feel upset or hurt, or it's a feeling word. Right? If by chance they don't even acknowledge you that you are upset, don't go to the next stage. So I literally told him, I said, I feel that you have not made the effort or disappointed. I didn't want to say disappointed because they would think of it as a judgment, but it has to be a feeling, I could have said I felt let down, but it's his job, right?
Right.
So I just kept my mouth shut. But the thing is, I said, hey, you haven't done, are you super cool with what's going on? He says, yeah, the girl signed my documents, I'm happy. So essentially, people don't get what they want, not because it's not available. They're too lazy to go to the next step.
Yeah.
So don't run after. See, as a social media influencer, you're going to again and again get ahead of your project, but keep encouraging him to keep giving you the number. Don't look it up, guys.
Right.
Because you need to wait and pace, but always come across as a strong support system. The next stage is, after they say, okay, I feel hurt, you will go to the next stage, which is I perceive. And the perceive stage is, I perceive when you did not look it up, that it was not important to you. That's
Right.
But that is an attack. So instead, hey, I perceive you would have done at least the number search. Just let it be. Then don't go to the next stage. Okay. And if in case they acknowledge and do it, then you would work with them.
Right.
And then the third system is I believe. I believe is the attack phase. And this is when you do the I perceive in relationship, they'll say hey, I perceive when you did. If they say, hey, why are you upset? So you say, I perceive when you did this, when I saw you do this, they'll say, you're crazy. You always come across that way. You're a nut job, blah, 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 blah. Don't go to the next stage.
Right.
So in relationship, it's different, okay?
Yeah.
So then you just stay there. And then again, keep giving them time. Eventually, when they say, okay, I'm willing to listen, you say, I believe that you chose to do it that way because you wanted to hurt me, right? And this time, slamming door happens, they say.
Yeah.
Really, we get into a fighting mode. But that is the truth. They essentially, what you perceive is the truth. And what you believe, they did it. So, logically, if this guy who wanted the disability, I would have said, I believe it's not that important to you. It's not your priority, because the reason is, the first week when I was doing limbic system therapy with him, I said, hey, what's stressing you the most? He says, I don't have money. So next week he comes in. I said, what is stressing you most? Is money still an issue? No, it's not an issue. So you told me last week it's an issue.
Yeah.
No, this week it's getting on disability is an issue. So he switched already.
Right.
So now I'm this week when he came in, I said, oh, so disability, did you look up the number? No, it's not. Because I already got the paper side. So you could see
Yeah.
they say, but they don't believe in it.
Right.
Mhm.
So it's so interesting. So this is professionally, I'm saying, but personally, like, in believe you could say, hey, when he said this, I did tell him, I said, I believe money is not an issue for you. I believe disability is not an issue for you. He says, no, you're wrong. Money is still an issue. But the thing is, it's obvious it's not an issue.
Right.
Because something else is
It
brewing
was.
under him.
Yeah.
So then you go to the next stage. The belief stage is denial. Denial.
Right.
And he's
Right.
still drunk. He gets on alcohol. He somehow gets money for alcohol.
Oh, right.
He's walling in self-pity because he gives himself permission to be miserable about something he could fix.
Right. Right.
But the thing is, it's for him to arrive. And sometimes it takes like 20, 30 years for them. Because that's what the cycle is about, right?
Right.
So you guys need to use these tools to figure out how to navigate through these people's heart, So it's not so much that they want to be cured. They want somebody to listen to their wail of pity, their wail. So make it constructive, so you can at least do social media influencing,
Right.
and you make a video of what's going on and how you're dealing with it and stuff, and create clout. What I'm saying is become an expert in one area that you kind of know you can move them, nudge them along.
Right.
So that at least they don't come back to the same situation. So in your mind you should say, okay, what's the next step? Let's say you have navigated that issue. So you want to push them to the next gate and close the gate. Next gate. Kind of you understand what I'm saying, right? So we are going to be gentle, but move them along.
Right.
So that's how you're going to be my social media influencer. Does it make sense to you?
Yes. Yes.
So that the fourth stage is when boundaries come in. The boundary is, if you don't do this part, I am going to set up boundaries, because until then, sociopath doesn't maintain boundaries.
Right.
So in the long run, instead of us hurting, crying, wasting time, the boundary only happens at the fourth stage. I was thinking when I was reading that, I could have saved aggravation for 20 years. Seriously, if I had known I should have gone through these stages, I could have never even gone to that stage. Doesn't make sense to you?
Yeah.
And then the last stage is I need, which will never, ever be heard. If it heard, it's either we are dead or we are high.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
That's the reality.
Yep.
Right? So this is all, it's a 5 golden phenomena. I'm going to give you guys the golden Charlie ticket.
Golden ticket. Willy Wonka.
So each one is worth $250,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
When are we getting this ticket? Because I need it now.
But do you understand the concept? So we are all going to be social media influencers.
Yeah.
And we are going to create a kingdom. And so that's what I learned. Yesterday they released this mantra to release the kingdom of abundance. And abundance is not money. It's how we use our energy to make the life flow.
Right.
And by just doing that,
Right.
wouldn't it be so much fun?
Yes.
It's not only fun because we know we are on the right track, but we are going to really create a solution that's going to be worthy.
Right.
And people will listen to us.
Yeah.
By the year end, we all will be social media influencers. That's
Right.
my guarantee to you.
Right. Okay.
You guys are going to make it.
I believe it.
And then maybe we can create our stylish clothing,
Right.
my brand, your
Put
brand.
a
Right.
ticket to that island.
Yeah.
I know, we will buy the island.
Yeah.
What island?
We will buy the island. We will own it. I
Yeah.
guarantee you. We're going to be an island owner. So I think that's where I want you guys to work with. Would you guys vouch? Yeah.
Sorry.
You guys would do it with me, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm so proud of you guys. And I believe in you. I believe in you more than
I'll give you my money.
I believe in you more than I believe.
I want to
believe
give
in
you this. Did you get a text from this guy?
For what?
He wants to come see you.
Okay, let me stop the video.
I'm sorry.
It's locked again.
Really?
Yeah.